Did I just find a ZT knife that I am in love with? Well, hey folks, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another episode here at Gideon's Tactical. Today we are looking at the ZT0566 from Rick Hinderer Designs. This thing has so much going for it. Now, here at the channel, you may realize and have noticed that I really don't review a lot of zero tolerance knives. And the ones that I have, I really haven't been super stoked about. Had some issues with, either just in their design, their functionality, performance, different things like that, and just didn't really connect with me. And when a new ZT hits the market, it's usually something that is interesting, but I end up just not purchasing and not checking out for many different reasons. Usually it's weight, it's price, and it's the design. Well, this knife answers all of those for me. This thing is going to be between $140 and $160. Links in the description below, Amazon and Blade HQ. We'll discuss that more in detail as we run in competitive options later on in the video, but we'll have those links for you. So under $150, you can usually get into this blade with some of the best steel, S35VN steel that you can find on the market. The layout and design absolutely connects with me, and it's one of the lighter ZT knives on the market. So there's a lot of things going for this knife that just connect with me. So let's find out if I am absolutely in love with it, that my initial love affair with the blade, if it's consistent throughout this video, or by the end of this video, I'm falling out of favor and out of love with this blade, the 0566. So let's go ahead, break it down, and see what it has to offer. Boom, a pocket clip done right here on this ZT. Blacked out, loop over, really nice, not obnoxious. Tip up, tip down, right or left. Fantastic. Zero complaints. That's how you do a pocket clip, folks. I don't know why it's so hard for some companies, it's just some designers, to make, you know, good functional pocket clips. Here's, I'm going to rag on the sister company, Kershaw, here for just a second. I hate this pocket clip. The only one that Kershaw makes that's worse than this is the pocket clip that comes standard on the Skyline. That one I loathe even more. But just like, I mean, it's low profile, which is great, but the way that they designed it, I mean, it's like, you know, 1.5 inches sticking out of your pocket. It's tip up, tip down, but only on the right side, nothing for lefties, whereas this guy is. And it's just, it jams up a lot here, so really you're like riding here on your pocket. Just not very fun. And then, I don't know what the deal is. I mean, these pocket clips are like flaming piles of garbage, to be honest with you. The Arrow pocket clips from Benchmade. I bought 3 Benchmades this year, and each one of them now, I just realized this the other day and I was really perturbed, came with that Arrow, you know, pocket clip. I mean, it's goofy looking. It's like poking you in the eyeball, and it's got that weird gap. Obviously, they're trying to like show off, like, ooh, look, there's orange underneath or whatever. And then Deep Ride stands off from the body kind of obnoxiously, whereas this one's just more elegant, slimmer. I mean, these are, yeah, this is like a dumpster fire right there of the pocket clip market in my mind. Whereas this one's like a classy leading lady in a nice, elegant black dress coming onto the screen. You know, I mean, that's what I see here. I think you will too when it slips into your pocket. Man, Rick Hinderer just has some of the best designs, I think, on the market, to be real with you guys. I mean, the design of this blade and just the flow of the knife in general is phenomenal. I love it. I've gravitated to it since day one. It's somewhat what was taken from the Cryo. The Cryo has some of these lines that Kershaw makes at a budget price. But this one just like takes the cake in just style. I mean, it's a type of style that I gravitate to. You know, knives that, yes, they're tools. Yes, they're something that does something for us, but just like a car, just like, you know, your home, I mean, go down the list, your toolkit. I mean, just anything in life, there is a style that we tend to gravitate to, and that's something that should be cared about for most of us. Some of us, you know, you're like, yeah, man, just give me that like $10 beater knife and that's all I'll ever carry. You know, kick the crap out of it. When it breaks, I'll just get another one. But for most of us, I would say there's a level of elegance or styling that we look for in a knife. And this one, for me personally, and probably for a lot of you, is like nail on the head, 10 out of 10, taking it up to 11 on its design. So the blade itself here, let's just go ahead and dive right into it, is 3¼ inches overall blade length. So perfect for just about any tasks. Not too big, not too small. Saber grind, super strong, gonna love that. Great relief edge, really good straight edge into that nice belly there, so you're gonna kind of have that dueling option and action there. Really nice drop point, coming almost to a spear point there with an elegant swedge that's really thick, so it's just more of like an aesthetic thing, and giving you that really strong tip there. Really dig that a lot. This is the black wash, blacked out blade coating. That's holding up really well to a lot of the abuse that I've been putting this through, so I'm really happy with that. The wear resistance on it, it will scuff up over time, but then it'll just give you Mandalorian armor, you know, Millennium Falcon feel to it. All beat up, banged up, but you know it's got a kicking engine underneath. So that engine is given to us with USA-made S35VN steel. It is my favorite steel, to particularly on pocket knives. Particularly on pocket knives, if you're like, dude, if you could make a knife, what would you make it out of? S35VN steel. I love it. It's easy to work with. I don't really have a problem with it, particularly if I, you know, mar it up, get a couple burrs or chips because I maybe hit concrete while I was cutting through something or nick something. It's really easy for me to get an edge back on it, and it holds an edge for like ever. I mean, it's just insane, and I love it. So when it comes to all the tasks you would want this knife to do at 0.12, 1/8 of an inch thick, it's going to have all the strength you need without it being overly thick. You know, some of these like frame lock, I'm thinking of like Hest knives and some other ones out there. I see them at like 0.16, sometimes even like 0.18 on a pocket knife thickness. I mean, that is ridiculous for a pocket knife. For a fixed blade, I get it, but for a pocket knife, I mean, that it's basically a folding pry bar. And for me, when I carry a pocket knife, I do need some level of precision. This gives it to you. I mean, you're going to get great carving, cutting, you know, through every type of material that you would want. The relief edge is fantastic, regardless if it's for EDC stuff, regardless if you maybe in the military, law enforcement, you're considering this tool, you know, to be that kind of duty tool for you that you carry, you know, on deployment, when you're on the beat, you know, whatever it may be, you're, you know, going to a call, whatever. It's going to give you not only that strength, but it's also going to give you the performance that you need without really, in my opinion, you're not sacrificing really anywhere on the blade performance, regardless if it's the steel, regardless of the blade shape, and regardless if it's the thickness that they chose. It's hitting all capabilities really, really well. Boom! Deployment. Let's talk about that. Speed safe, open assist on this. The more I get into knives, the more I realize that I mean, not that I'm against open assist. This is by no means like a rag, like open assists are stupid. That is not what I'm saying. Open assists are cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I love autos. That's a lot of fun. But the more I use knives, you know, like my son, like he loves trucks. Any truck, you name it, little toy trucks, big trucks, you know, whatever. Whereas for me now, like in my life, I like trucks, but there's like a very particular type of truck I like, how I like it, you know, to be designed and what it can do. My son doesn't care. He loves every type of truck known to man. I think the more you get into knives, the more you spend time with pocket knives in particular, you tend to gravitate more to just smooth action like ball bearing, unassisted blades. At least that's what I do, and I don't think I'm alone in that. Again, not saying that the speed safe open assist is bad by any means. It's just I could take it or leave it. It's fast. It does its job. I've found that with a couple other Kershaws that I own after, actually it was this Blur here, S30V Blur. You know, after about 2 years of a lot of use, the spring got pretty weak, and I had to send it back to Kershaw, and, you know, free of charge, they took care of me and, you know, basically just paid for shipping and, you know, tuned it all up and got me another spring in there. So that may happen with this one as well. I mean, it's pretty quick for an open assist. And it does its job. But that's just some food for thought there. You do have these thumb studs, which out of the box, they were unusable. I could not actuate them because they're like flush with the body. They're really more like blade stoppers than they are actual thumb studs. Now, after about 2 weeks, I can use them and deploy the knife that way, but it's really designed to be with the flipper. I actually tend to do one thumb here, one finger, you know, my index finger there, and kind of do a dual action. It's kind of fun, a little bit different, and it just seems to work really naturally for me. And then obviously those thumb studs slam right up against the body of the blade, or of the handle. Then we have that really massive stop pin back there, like the strongest lockup known to man. Zero wobble, left, right, up, down. Really solid liner lock there, hitting about 40% of the blade. It's going to fly open on the bronze bushings in there, so that's another super solid plus. Very easy for me to disengage that lock. Boom, close it up, open it back up. Very easy for me to do. And then you are going to be having that dead centering there on the blade. All right, handle here is really a major selling point for me. It's kind of like it's holding your favorite baseball bat when you're in Little League, and you know that you're going to be cracking at least a double, if not a triple, every time you grab that bat. And then, maybe, the coach forgot to bring it, or, it's a buddy's bat and they're not there that day. And it's kind of like depressing when they're not, you're probably only going to get to first, maybe if you're lucky, second, because there's not that sweet bat that you own. That's kind of how I feel with this handle. I mean, it is a sweet, sweet feeling handle. I love it. The overall length is going to be 4.45 inches. It's going to have a maximum thickness of 0.44. Love that. So nice and slim in the hand. G10 handle scales on one side that are medium to heavy traction, which I really am happy about. And then your frame lock on the other side there. Really, all the angles have been milled really nicely. It's not clunky or blocky. That thinness is not an issue for me, particularly in how you use the knife. This isn't like an outdoor woods knife. We've talked about that before. This is just a really good, like, slimmer, hard use knife. It's not this big brick in your pocket, but you're going to have like the strength of a brick. You're going to have the strength of a sledgehammer in the performance and size of like a ballpoint hammer. If that makes sense, and just how I feel the strength to performance. So it just feels very comfortable, very ergonomic. Really like it a lot. We got a little bit of jimping here. All of it is milled and large. It's not sharp and abrupt, so it feels really good. So you have really solid traction. You got that really nice finger guard that's going to totally lock you into place. Reverse grips are going to be awesome in that capacity. I mean, you are not going to accidentally slide up and hurt yourself. So this is definitely that hard use traction and capability, but still giving you the feel of like a slimmer EDC knife. Now, the one thing to note is that it is 5.3 ounces. That is really heavy for me. It's on the too much heavy side. The saving grace of it is the slimness of the profile and how good it feels in my hand when I grip the knife. So I do carry it much more so than say like a Rat Model 1. I rag on that knife a lot for the weight, and I just don't carry it a lot because it's okay, but it doesn't feel like this. And there's just something about this knife, and then obviously the added strength of the frame lock that this offers you. So it would have been really nice to have them. There's no milling on this side of the liner. It would have been nice to have them just mill that out, bring it down to like 4.7, just make it a little bit more realistic and a little bit lighter in the hand. That would be my only critique, but I know a lot of you guys really like heavy, kind of overbuilt knives, and that's totally what this is, giving you that sledgehammer capability in a ballpoint hammer size. They do also make a carbon fiber version of this, and I do believe there are some companies out there that do have either aftermarket handle scales or are producing, like different color combinations on that G10. All right, we're gonna hit price on the blade and the design. Gonna bust in one frame lock, one not, and two others with the steel. Obviously S35VN, again, USA made. Prices vary. Blade HQ, Amazon links below for all the knives that you're about to see here, and House of Blades link for one of the knives that we're going to look at. But thank you guys for using the links. It helps me get out there, I bought this knife so I can give you this video. So without you guys using the hyperlinks, I don't have the money to go out and buy this knife and then do a video on it for you. So thank you, regardless if it's this video or any other, for using the hyperlinks to Blade HQ and Amazon. But this guy's gonna run you for about $140 for the satin version and $160 for the blacked out version, and then I think like $168 for the carbon fiber handled version. So between $140, $160 is the average going weight. For everything that you're getting, I think it's a great value. Frame lock, S35VN, basically one of my favorite steels and one of the best steels on the market right now. And all the options that we're getting and just the performance levels. Now, another Kershaw, not a ZT, that is out there that also has S35VN is the Kershaw Link, and the Kershaw Link with a House of Blades exclusive. So they did different patterned handle scales, which is really cool, really nice contouring, and then put an S35VN blade on it, deep ride pocket clip. Totally dig it. It is a liner lock, which is close in strength. It's not the same as a frame lock. I heard some people, trying to convince me that that was not the case. I don't see that frame locks are more solid as long as they hit, you know, solidly on the back of the spine, and you know, this one does. So it's very strong though. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a weak knife by any means. Different blade shape for sure, a little bit thinner, a little bit more precise, not as strong in the blade as well. Really good belly though. About $80 to $90 for this design, House of Blades exclusive. I will have links in the description below over there. So you are getting the exact same blade steel and arguably as good, if not better, EDC performance, like slicing through cardboard, food prep, that type of thing, but you will lack the strength in the tip and just overall strength in the blade and in the strength of the frame lock. Then I have a Chinese-made Kaiser Sea Lion. This is S35 VN steel as well. It's about the same blade length. You know, really similar. Frame lock also, that's really why I'm busting it in here. But this is a titanium handled frame lock, and instead of stainless steel. And so it's gonna come in, I believe it's about 3.5 ounces. So, you know, you're looking at almost 2 ounces difference there. No over travel bar, positive, negative, possibly. Ball bearing, you know, we talked about that a little bit. Ball bearing pivot, extremely smooth, like butter. And just more of like a preference point for me in general. Now, this is way more just EDC elegance. It's not, you know, like overbuilt strength, which is what the ZT is. This guy's gonna be about $175 for a Chinese-made knife. Now, it has insane, you know, fit and finish quality levels and all that. But, you know, you're gonna pay a little bit more, and arguably maybe a little bit better for EDC, but nowhere near the strength that the ZT has. So I just wanna kind of run in some food for thought concepts for you there. But for the price of between 140 and 160, just depends on, you know, who, what, when, where, why, Amazon, Blade HQ, all over the place. I think it's a great value to what you get on this ZT-0566. Well, I am still in love, guys. Have not fallen out of love with this thing. Zero real issue or complaints. And really my only very small critique really is just the weight, but it's so unnoticeable because of all the other things we've discussed in this video. I just would have liked to see this one side that is up against the G10 milled out a little bit, brought it down, you know, 1/4 of an ounce. And it just would have been nice, you know, lighter the better, and still you wouldn't have lost any of the strength that ZT is known for, and particularly that this knife has with its frame lock and steel frame lock. So, yeah, guys, totally dig it. One of, in my opinion, because I'm not this giant, you know, ZT fan, in my opinion, probably as of to date, the most performance to design capable ZT knife I've found, that I am in love with, that I actually like, and that I actually want to keep in the collection, that I want to carry on a regular basis. So I hope that this video has helped you out if you're considering ZT knives in general, particularly this model, whether or not this is that right kind of balance of not being too overly built, or, you know, just too out of the ballpark with price. That you're getting an awesome blade with good design, good performance, and still staying at a reasonable price for the materials that have been put into the blade. So thank you guys so much for coming over here today and checking out this video. If you're not a current subscriber, I invite you to become part of the GT family, throwing up videos like this every single week. If you are a current subscriber, you guys rock. Thank you so much for your support. Make sure to hit that bell icon next to the subscribe button to make sure that this is in your news feed. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, other social media. It's a great way to see what's up and coming, projects we're working on, just a different way to connect with me. And finally, guys, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.